Howdy, everyone, and welcome to the update for yesterday, which was Saturday, June the 20th of this year, 2026. I need to come up with a better way of saying that. I like how the early ones of these videos said, update for January 31st. Somehow I need to get the date, the year in there, but the way I'm doing it right now just sounds awkward. June 20th, 26? Update for June 26, 2020. Anyway, I'm going to be working on that because I don't like the way I'm currently doing it. Anyway, let's see. So this was the first day of strike that. The second day that I was doing this new accounting system on my own. So it was another accounting day. And just like yesterday was the 5 to 2 that I normally do, was switched to a 4:30 to 1:30. We were advised to give ourselves an extra half hour or so to get through things on time, particularly when we're new at this. And so did that, and almost got to the where they basically the first time where got. Long story short. There was one threshold that was hoping to be by 5:45, got there at like 5:55, but otherwise we were on schedule, and so getting better. And, wasn't perfect. Definitely had my mistake du jour of the day. There was one thing when counting everything that we have on hand at the end of the day that we're now adding in something that we didn't include with this part of the process before. Yesterday, I remembered to include it. Second time around, today, I did not. And it's one of those things, it's like you're looking at it, it's like, I know something's off. And none of us could figure it out until like 2 hours later when I'm like, oh, I didn't include the thing. I didn't. But other than that, pretty good day all in all. And that gave me about 3 hours to focus on actually essentially coming up with or working on a guide or some notes for the other people that do that role. I've mentioned on a few occasions that, obviously if the, strike that, as I'm losing my train of thought here. I mentioned yesterday that I actually had the, I don't want to say responsibility or the power or whatever, but I guess you could say responsibility, of being the first one at our location to do the new system. So basically, I was jotting down notes about my experiences and things that I ran into, and basically a step-by-step guide so that, if some reason myself or the lead gets sick in the next couple of days, that hopefully, or that one of the others would be able to get in there and kind of take over prior to the official, their official little practice days that are going to be coming up. And what's interesting about that, and one of the reasons I'm doing this, is because I also was notified that for our location, I will actually be the one basically conveying this information to the backups and guiding them through this new system transition. So, which kind of an honor in a way, I guess. So I was in, going full teacher mode and coming up with basically a list so that during that time I can kind of hand this to them, all right, so take a look through this. Let's see if you can walk through this and see if this all makes sense to you and we can kind of work through this way. Or on day one they can kind of watch me do it and follow along and see, that type of thing. And so, yeah, and luckily, I've mentioned before, the joy of having cashiers in training, basically bonus help. We also had that as well. And so they were okay with my being off the floor the whole day to prepare this. And it seems like we were successful. I'm actually filming this in the afternoon on the 21st. So basically one day behind. And the lead came back from her weekend today and reviewed my notes and said, your notes are very good and very helpful. So excellent. As she was having her first day on this new system today. I was on site as a bagger, and turns out that she didn't even need to come get me to rescue her. So success with this, and so this transition is actually going quite well so far. Also, on the day that I'm talking about in this video, which was the 20th, yesterday, made 2 of these videos. Did the whole thing where, put on a different shirt and change where in the house it is. But filmed 2 of these yesterday as well. Went to the gym. Excellent workout, actually. Saturday afternoons there tend not to be many people in there. And oddly enough, after an accounting day, I was not exhausted, even though it was a intellectually challenging one. Maybe that's because I didn't do anything really particularly physical during that day. It was just a bunch of mental stuff and typing stuff. But anyway, it ended up, so it was a good workout anyway, because I wasn't too tired. Let's see. One of my vehicles, the Caravan, as a matter of fact, this was the one that a few days ago I gave a little. I was sitting there filming and I held up the camera and showed you guys kind of the back of it, which not that there's anything to see back there because it was empty. That vehicle was giving me a get an oil change message, and so I went to Valvoline and got an oil change and a air filter change, and they replaced the burnt out blinker, which I'm glad that I knew, or the guy they told me, because I didn't know the little blinker on that thing was burnt out. And yeah, so did that and came back and a couple more clips, and then came back and was going to do a little bit more of the cleaning and updating of the house stuff. Did a few minutes of it, but then I was super tired and fell asleep. Well, went to bed. I was feeling tired. Didn't crash, but actually went through the official process of washing up and getting ready for bed and going to bed and all that jazz at like 9 o'clock, and was able to get a full night's sleep because I'm no longer worried about the whole possibly losing the lease to my apartment thing that took up a lot of mental energy this week. So yeah, that's kind of where I am at the point where I'm filming this, or at least for the 20th. Like I said, as I'm posting this, it's actually about 6 o'clock in the evening on the 21st. And actually within the next about half an hour, I'm going to be jumping in that same silver van, the Caravan, and heading over to Central Oregon, back to Mom and Dad's place, where I am going to be helping Mom with more things pertaining to her upcoming move. And that's another kind of arc that we're going to be, I'm sure, going to be mentioning here quite often here within the next few months. So I'm sure I'll have some more to say about that here coming up soon as well. Anyway, so with that, going to be getting ready to head over here. My next couple updates might be short, or they might be a little bit late or whatnot. Mom's not into this whole video filming thing, so I just kind of do it when I can. And but we'll get all the updates eventually. Anyway, thanks for joining me all the way to the end. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon.